Well, looks like California is doing pretty well now. Uh, usually when it comes to these kind of dates and so on and so forth, most of the time you really can't take them seriously. But the most interesting thing, about this, whole situation, which I'm going to show you here, is we did have a significant quake, which was in Alaska. So let me zoom out here, and as you see, there's a nice big one here, registered at 6.7. A lot of meters, I guess, read 7.0. So, I mean, that's a pretty significant quake. As far as anything else, there's a couple in South America, uh, Papua New Guinea. Japan got shook up a little bit. India, just south of Turkey. But, here's one on the Southeast Indian Ridge. Nice little tremor there. Looks like this one's a 5.2. But, other than that, the only big significant quake, pretty much, and actually it didn't happen until, uh, pretty much the next day. So, you know, there you go. As far as the lineup and everything else, I mean, right now, I can say this for sure that uh, most likely, I mean, this is the West Coast, no matter how you look at it. So, in a way, his thing came true because there was a significant quake. Now, of course, it was on the 29th, not the 28th. But still, you know, at that end time, and I'll show you on the solar system scope here. I'll show you that. And I'll try to zoom in on it and try to give you the best possible view that you can get. Now, as you can see, pretty much everything is still sitting exactly the way it's supposed to be sitting. Now, most likely this kind of setup where everything is at right now is going to last until probably mid-June. So I wouldn't say that we're out of the hot water yet, but at the same time, we'll go in here and let's see if I can get a good side view of Earth. What we'll do is we'll go back to see where Alaska was around that time. Yeah, you can see right there. Let's go forward a little bit. Oh, there's Alaska there. And if we just go forward a little bit, there we go. It goes out of the picture. What time is it? It's pretty much 100 hours UTC at this point. So either way, Alaska is still facing Venus. And that was the whole connection here on this whole thing. Like I said, when it comes to dates, it's really hard to say. I will say this, though, eventually it's going to happen. Eventually it's going to happen. I want to do more research into, pretty much where everything was going to be sitting. So, I mean, even if you wanted to, you can go, let's say you can go to let's see, we'll go to next year, 2016, same day, right? But look where Venus is. Venus is way the heck over here, so it wouldn't happen next year, in most cases. But, Mars, even then, who knows? There's Jupiter. But, this is pretty much what it looks like next year on the same day. Now, there's some serious alignments going on there. pretty much with Saturn, Earth, Mars, Mercury, and Venus. But, once again, same thing. And what I always say is, keep watch. It's not that we need to be afraid or we need to be scared or anything like that. The most thing we need to do is just be prepared. That's the main thing. We need to be prepared for anything, any situation. If you know you live in a freaking place that has tornadoes, well, then you might want to get prepared if you can for tornadoes. I know not a lot of people are in the position to do the things they want to do, but still at the same time, what I'm saying, if you can, if it's possible, go ahead and do it. So, a lot of these people are, just putting fear. I mean, the last video I made, it just took off automatically, which doesn't surprise me. But at the same time, it's just one of those things. I mean, I even had a comment where, some person was saying, oh, alignments have nothing to do with this, and why don't you watch the entire video before you start blabbing your mouth? There's no reason for it. I wasn't saying that it was going to happen. I repeated it over and over again and said, hey, I don't know what's going to happen. But everything is lining up exactly the way he said, so we'll just have to wait and see. Even my video description said that there could be an earthquake on the West Coast. Not there's going to be, could be. So when people just kind of, obviously this person was from California, and you know what I'm saying? If you scared, fine. Just say you scared. You ain't got to say mean, nasty stuff and call people idiots and everything else. I mean, obviously you wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I mean, if you didn't believe it, why even click on the video? Why even watch it? Why waste your time? So pretty much what I'm going to show you now is, let's see, we'll go to the 13th of June. Okay, everything is pretty much, didn't change. Are you kidding me? Okay, go 13th. Yeah, so, pretty much everything is still, in place. Venus is still sitting, where it is. But, let's go back to the 28th again and see the fluctuation of movement here. Yeah, there's not much. Everything is pretty much still sitting in the same spot except for Venus and Mercury a little bit closer. There's not much of a shift. But we'll go to the 13th, get that shift. Everything, Venus is still sitting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go forward just to show you that either way, this connection with Venus, as far as being a hothead, because it's collecting all that energy from the sun, possibly maybe deflecting it, towards the earth, plus what the sun has already given off towards the earth. I'm not a scientist. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I just try to put these things together by what I see. I'm very interested in it. I love astrology. Well, not astrology, sorry, astronomy. I love astronomy. I always get those two confused. I don't know why. But, yeah, I love all these things, geology, I study this stuff freelance by myself. No one's, teaching me or anything else like that. I have different websites I go to, or I watch people's channels on YouTube. They're very good at what they do. They're all science, They don't, talk about God or anything else like that, but at the same time, I like to look at things in a scientific view. And most of the time I can tell when the scientific view is just a bunch of BS because, the whole God, pertaining to God not existing and, all that other stuff. Nothing's going to ever take me away from, pretty much always giving all the props, to Jesus, no matter what. A lot of these guys, man, that, say they're truther channels and everything else, I never hear them saying anything, and I'm gonna make a video about that too. I might be doing 3 videos today. But either way, you can see here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go forward just to show you that everything is still sitting in place. Even here we are, June 14th, June 15th, everything is still sitting. As far as what I'm looking at is where Venus is at. You see where Venus is at? Still sitting. So, I mean, honestly, I don't think the West Coast is out of the hot water yet. I mean, at least not until Venus passes. Because see now, if you stop it here, this is September 9th. And look at all the activity here, man. Getting close to, the blood moon and everything else. And, you can see, pretty much where Venus is here. Now, once it comes around, see that? We're already, into October, pretty much. So I wouldn't say we're out of the, well, let's see, let's go back here, because right about there. So I say at least I would give it until somewhere around mid-July to say we're out of the water. Now, all the planets are not going to be in the same spot as far as the, the constellations and everything. But, still, I wouldn't say that we're out of the hot water. If Venus is the connection to this, and not just the planets being in certain constellations, then I would, keep watch until, pretty much the end or mid or in July. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I just research this stuff on my own, and I find stuff that's interesting, and, that's about it. So, all I can say to you is if there's a date that comes out, most likely you can't believe it. I think it's important to even put it out there, even if you don't believe it, just to say, okay, maybe. But never give a definite, and I won't give a definite on anything of any type. So I still believe that we're not out of the hot water yet, and the reason why is because of this significant quake here in Alaska. So it may not have popped anywhere else, but it still popped on the West Coast. That's about the only thing I can keep connected to that whatsoever. I guess they didn't have a tsunami warning. That's good. But, there you go, folks. Pretty much simple, cut and dry. Like I said, I wasn't trying to scare anybody. I wasn't trying to, I just had this dream about an earthquake, and I was like, man, that would be crazy if this happened. And then I just happened to figure this out with, Nostradamus, and, there you go. So, it is what it is. I mean, most of his stuff don't even have anything to do with dates. It just happens to do with the time frame of what's happening around that time. And most of his stuff has come to pass, has come true. So I had to look into it, and I had to put the video up just in case. And, it's a good thing nothing happened. But the fact of the matter is, like I said, is it's going to happen. Whether you want it to happen or not, sooner or later, it's going to happen. That's pretty much it. There's nothing we can do about that. The only thing we can do about that is be prepared. And that's why I keep saying it, be prepared. Be prepared. Just because we pass a day and everything seems fine and, oh, nothing happened. Okay, well, that doesn't mean you can't be prepared just in case. New movie San Andreas drops today. You know what I'm saying? You get to see it firsthand as far as on the silver screen, but I've witnessed, if you haven't witnessed an earthquake or never been in one, I'm telling you, you don't want to. You don't want to. I've been in a couple of them. I've been in the Northridge earthquake. I've been in, all kinds of different little earthquakes, and I tell you, it's the scariest thing in the world because you can't get away from it. A typhoon or a hurricane, you can get away from those. Tornado, you can get away from that. You can't get away from an earthquake, man. Ain't nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way to tell if it's going to come or not. So, I say be prepared. Be prepared. Pray to Jesus. Ask him to forgive you for your sins. Try your best to be the best possible person you can. We all can't be perfect. But, we can at least, try our best or give our best to do the right things and to always give praise to Jesus no matter what. No matter what anybody says, praise Jesus all the time. All the time. You know? That's all you got to do. Accept him in your life. Accept him in your heart. Ask him to walk with you. You know, not everything is going to go exactly the way you want to. And he's not going to always answer you right then and there. Everything is set in its place for a reason. I'm a prime example of that. I always say, man, oh, this ain't fair. This ain't right. Blah, blah, blah. Well, that's just the way it is. Eventually, you know, we will have our time. It just ain't time yet. We have to go through whatever it is that the Lord needs us to go through in order to affect other people's lives and other people's situations. It's crazy. It's a whole web of craziness. But when you start to think about it and you read the Bible and you start to learn more, you start to see exactly why it is the way it is. But like I said, that's just me. That's the way I feel. I'm very, very... I try to be aware as I possibly can. And at the same time, you know, trying to help people learn more. So, like I always say, share, subscribe, watch, you know. Don't be afraid to, you know, check out my channel. I got some good topics. I got some, you know, very good topics. So, you know, you should definitely check it out. You know, check out my channel, man. I got some, I got a video about what the Lord says about the length of the hair. Another one about being plugged into the Matrix. I'll show you some clips from the Matrix. Attacking gays, which I'm probably going to make another video about that. My description of the movie Exodus, Gods and Kings, which was trash. Of course, my Planet X Nibiru Wormwood in the Bible, that's also a good one. Also read the comments and the description. It's got some good information in that. Racism in the N-word, that's another one. That's a good one. You got to check that out. Jessica Lange was murdered. And still, nobody found the killer. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't pin it on black people, so they just left it alone. Nice. Nice. So yeah, you know, people, check out my channel, you know, leave your comments, subscribe, share, and we'll keep this bad boy going, man, for Jesus. Because that's it, man. There's a lot of fakers on YouTube, and they ain't doing exactly what they supposed to be doing. They ain't saying the things that need to be said. They're not teaching the things that were supposed to be taught. You know what I'm saying? It's just all off. But anyways, like I said, do what you gotta do. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you, everyone, for your time. I really appreciate it. So have a good one, and God bless. Keep Jesus in number one always. First place.